So folks, we have a update here on the rewards track. People have been mad for, gosh, the better part of a month, it feels like. We got a very brief update from Blizzard, and now, as of a few minutes ago, a much more in-depth update from Blizzard. A lot of detail in this one. And I'm going to break it down for you at least a little bit here. I'm not going to go into extreme detail because this is a really long article and there's a lot to make sense of that I still haven't made sense of myself. But use this video as more of a update. Hey, this is happening. I'm going to put a link in the description. You can go read this in full. I just wanted to give you guys a place to discuss this news and give you at the very least my kind of first look reactions to the rewards track update. So first things first, I'm glad we're finally hearing something. I'm sad that it took this long because I think a lot of people have gotten really frustrated in the meantime, but it's at least good to hear something, and it seems like some thought at the very least went into this one. Blizzard maintains that their intent continues to be providing a better reward and progression experience than before. We missed the mark on that initial implementation in a few important areas, so they're gonna drop some fixes, essentially some improvements to make the system more rewarding, it sounds like. These will be landing later this month, it says. We don't have a time as far as I know, but coming soon. And primarily there are like 4 or 5 big changes here. So number one, removing quests that are too difficult to complete. This is going to be detailed down here, but essentially quests that require legendary cards or, like winning 4 games in Arena, those are going to be removed because some people had a lot of trouble getting those done. Arena had a cost, and legendary cards, of course, also have some cost. This might actually just be easier to read these bullet points here than this paragraph I initially planned to read. But they will also be reducing the amount of XP required to complete the 50 level rewards track by nearly 20%. So that's pretty substantial, making it sounds like maybe 18-19% easier to complete your rewards track. That's going to make levels come faster and make rewards come, somewhat faster as well. 20% is not the biggest number. I wish it was like 100%, but it's something. I'm sure this gets it really close to being just objectively better for a vast majority of players than the previous system with the 20% modifier, because it was already pretty close. So this probably pushed it over the hump. I will maintain that I don't think that's revolutionary enough. I think if we really want Hearthstone to grow, it'd be a game we can recommend to people. It needed to be like twice as good as it used to be, not 20% better. That said, still a substantial move forward and a step in the right direction that's probably going to placate a lot of people who just wanted to get back to where we were. I think we need to go further, but here we are. We are also seeing, let's see, 2 gold rewards being added to the track. I don't know if that means they're going to be added in place of something else, but oh man, there's a lot of details actually here about the daily and weekly quests that I did not read. This is a very in-depth article. Okay. We'll move on to that in a second. So some extra gold, it sounds like. I don't know the details there. Again, please read this and discuss in the comments. And also redesigning the bonus levels after level 50. And what I got from reading this briefly beforehand was essentially that the XP increments are going to be smaller and the gold increments are also going to be smaller, so that you feel like you're going to get a steadier gold income, essentially. Increasing the total level, but smaller levels, smaller gold rewards. So things are basically coming quicker, more consistently, so it feels better than it did in the past, which is a good change. But I wish that was not only post level 50. It sounds like that's only going to be for the part past level 50. I imagine that was due to like UI design issues, or they already had the UI made up and don't know how to tweak that quickly. So this is probably a kind of a holdover for that. Maybe the previous levels would get adjusted later, but who knows. Also, I think this is really cool. One-time login bonus here to kind of say we're sorry, it sounds like, of 5 Darkmoon Faire packs and 500 gold if you log in from December 15th to January 18th. This kind of maybe implies some of this stuff might be going live December 15th. Perhaps there'll be a patch then or something where this lands. I can't confirm that, but that's my suspicion based on this. So just a bonus 500 gold and 5 Darkmoon Faire packs dumped on you there to make things feel a little bit better. And that's a nice gesture, sure. I mean, it definitely helps make up some of the gaps again experienced by people in the rewards track. The only downside there is, of course, that's not a part of the fundamental system. So moving forward in future expansions, I don't know if we can expect that to kind of make up the difference. I would hope that would be something we see more consistently, because that's the sort of thing that definitely helps this feel like a better system. Regardless, happy to take bonuses because this has been a pretty stressful time for a lot of players. So there's a lot more detail here on each of these components. I guess I'll read these bullet points because they seem pretty easy. We're changing the weekly quest of win 7 games to win 5 games. So making that one easier is cool because that was stressful for people who don't play ranked. That said, it sounds like it's still going to be in there, and it might even still be required. It does say as a guaranteed weekly quest. So there are still going to be Battlegrounds players or Duels players, Arena players, or whatever who feel compelled to play ranked and win 5 games, which is going to have to make them have decks and cards potentially. So a little sad that this is still a mandatory quest. I don't know that the 2 win difference makes a big deal there. It's really that like initial action of having to have the deck that I think makes this stressful to people, and having to spend the time. And I mean, it's a little less time, sure, but it's still got that big initial hurdle and it still feels bad. So this feels like a very, very tiny gesture that kind of misses the point. Tavern Brawls and Battlegrounds will now contribute to quest progress. That sounds great where it makes sense. Which is what it says. It's going to be perfect. I think that's a great change. Just makes people's lives easier. They don't have to go into a mode they don't want to. Small tweaks to certain quests, like corrupt cards. That one was weird. So fixing that's cool. That's a nice small little fix. And 800 XP daily quests will now reward 900 XP. I mean, yeah, that's cool for people who aren't re-rolling a ton. I think a lot of people are probably re-rolling those anyway. But it doesn't hurt. That's adding a little bit of extra XP into the system for people who are too lazy to reroll, like yours truly. Here's the reduction in XP by 37,000 XP. It'll make mid to late levels easier to reach and adjust the absence of XP events. So it does sound like they're trying to load this into the back half of the rewards track, which will make things feel a little bit smoother and faster, which is a great change. Also, just making rewards come more consistently is pretty cool too. I like to hear that. Also, it sounds like this is all going to be sort of backdated or whatever. You'll see like additional level experience depending on where you're at and stuff, so that's cool. I mean, you won't gain extra XP, but it's all going to be worked into the system organically, it sounds like. Adding 50 gold to the current rewards for level 27 and 30. I don't know what those are. Maybe they were 100 and now they're going to be 150. I mean, sure, that's great. Small, but awesome. And here's the change for the post level 50. I mean, that's cool. I think a lot of people are still going to have trouble getting to level 50. So this isn't going to make much difference to them as far as feel is concerned. I hope this is the kind of change we see moved into earlier parts of the reward track as well. So final thoughts here. Basically, they're saying this is not final. Like, they're going to keep tweaking the system. They want it to feel good, monitor feedback and data. I don't know how true that'll be. We'll see. But, I mean, this is a significant change. I know people have been stressed about the timeline on this. It takes corporations a while to do stuff. It sucks. They don't have the flexibility that we expect. I wasn't too shocked by that. It took a little longer than I expected. But this is a big, notable change that shows they're at least paying attention. Again, my comments will remain the same they've been for forever, for 5 years or whatever. I still think Hearthstone's going to be way too expensive. I think the entire pack system is just so prohibitive to people. This doesn't really change that in a meaningful way. It makes the game slightly more accessible when the game needs to be far more accessible. So, I mean, I'm happy to see this. This is clearly a step in the right direction. There's a lot of good things about this. For me, it still doesn't make Hearthstone a game I recommend to people. It's still a super expensive game, and there are still a lot of people who are not going to be able to play Hearthstone the way they want to, even with these changes. So, good steps, just not steps that go nearly far enough in my mind. But if you were happy with how Hearthstone was before, it sounds like you're going to be happy with Hearthstone in this new iteration of the system, maybe even more happy than you were before. So, that's a good change at the end of the day. I'm just, I'm picky. I want more. I want the game to grow. I'm a little bit greedy there. I want Hearthstone to do well as well as possible for all of us. So Forgive me if it doesn't feel like quite enough. That said, I'm sure there are details here that I skimmed or glossed over in my rush to get this to you guys as an update. So please check that link in the description. Go read this, break it down, do the math. Tell me how great of a change this is. If you still think it's not enough, let me know. Share all those comments and thoughts in the comments below. If it was enough to win you back, let us know. If it wasn't enough to win you back, let us know. I want to hear all your thoughts and give you guys a great place to discuss this amongst yourselves. That said, thanks much as always for watching, and good luck out there. And until next time, game on.